Y'all, I gotta get something done in my head. How I go in, and we're back in business. Good morning, YouTube. I know every time y'all see me in a video, y'all are like, she in the car and she about to tell us where she on her way to. And you're right, I am. So this morning I am getting ready to head to Savannah, Georgia. If you don't know, that's where I'm from. I am going down there, not for much. I'm going to see my mom and dad. I'm going to visit my aunt and then kind of hang around downtown Savannah. Go to maybe a restaurant or two, maybe just chill. I don't know. Let's just go. Let's hit the road. Buckle up and let's go.
Will this complete your order?
Yes, thank you.
Have
you used y'all's gift cards already? Like, is that a thing to try to use your gift cards as soon as you get them, like for Christmas? So I got a Starbucks gift card that one of my former co-workers sent to me for Christmas. And I'm like one of those people, I use my gift cards really within the week after Christmas or something like that, or when I get them, just so I can make sure that I don't forget them, honestly. So that's what I'm doing. Stopping, getting me some Starbucks, and then getting back on the road. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at the time, it's like 10:45, and I think I left Atlanta at like 9:30, 10:45, and it's really bad that I have made it down to Macon, because that's where I'm at right now, within an hour. So I really need to stop driving so fast. I'm like, is it already 10:45? But it is. So yeah, let's get this coffee and keep it moving, because I do know I at least have another hour and a half, hour 45 minutes to go. So yeah. So am I tripping that the tall size for Starbucks is smaller? Is this the new tall? I haven't been to Starbucks in a long time. If I don't have a gift card like I just did, I don't buy Starbucks because I feel like their coffee tastes burnt. This is the one. Now, the funny thing is, I'm questioning the new size of a tall, but this is like the one time I've had Starbucks in a very long time, and it doesn't taste burnt. This is actually a really good cup of coffee. But I'm just confused because this looks like one of those little cups where you get free coffee, like at a hotel or something. These are so little. What happened? Cutting costs, but still the same price, actually a little bit more. So still actually a good cup of coffee, surprisingly. Everyone, this is my father. He looks like Santa Claus. Say hello for the people.
Hello, this is Frederick Douglass.
Yep, there he is. That's my mother.
Hi, how are you?
All right. So I came to eat with my parents. We had OD Crab House, and it was actually really good. So if you're in Hinesville, check them out. All right, y'all. So I have made it into my Airbnb, and of course I'm going to show it to you all. So anytime I come and I stay in Savannah, I always catch the really good Casa deals on Airbnb. So essentially, starting from the door, this is what it looks like. So for $247, that was my total. This is pretty much the bathroom here. Pretty big, spacious bathroom. And then once you come in, I think this is the washer. Yeah, there's a washer, full washer dryer. And then it comes out into like this little loft. So you have like your bed over there, and it just kind of sits into the kitchen. You have your bar, full kitchen. Have like a little mini couch and TV. And this is right off of, well, this is Broughton Street right here. Broughton Street, where you have like all of your restaurants, different things like that. And then River Street is just adjacent to this street. So kind of get myself situated really quick. But this is basically the space. So I normally just rent this little space here because it's really just kind of like in the hustle and bustle of things. You can just walk downstairs. To your left is restaurants, to your right is restaurants. It's a quick little walk to River Street. So I want to take the time to apologize at this point in the video because I really didn't do a very good job of giving a proper recommendation, things that you should do while you're in Savannah. I really just kind of took this opportunity for the trip to spend time with my parents and visiting my aunt since I didn't get a chance to see them during Christmas. And so I promise the next time that I come to Savannah, I'm going to give you a proper, here are the top things that you should do in Savannah. And so this is all the footage I could catch. So next time, I promise. So I'm back in Atlanta, and I wanted to kind of take the time to share my new eyeglasses, my new frames rather. I haven't gotten them filled. One thing I love about January is not only that it's the top of the year, and I've kind of gotten out of new year, new me, or making resolutions. It's just like every day you got to just kind of do your best, put your best foot forward, and when you need to start over, start over. It doesn't matter if it's January 1st or December 31st or July 31st. Start over when you need to start over. So I don't do the whole new year, new me, but I do new year, new iframes. Every year, I always get new iframes. And honestly, that's really one question that I get all the time in my comments. Anytime I post my videos on social media, where did you get your glasses from? Where did you get your frames from? And when I found out that I had to wear eyeglasses literally for the purpose of seeing, not necessarily just reading, I was kind of like, you know, if I have to wear eyeglasses, I want to make sure that I have options to match my outfits, to, you know, change up how they look, how to match how I'm feeling. So essentially, my 2026 glasses, not all the time where I'll get some sunglasses, but if I see some that I like, you know, it just all depends. And I normally do not get more than 3 pair because, I mean, you do have to pay for them to be, the prescription to be filled. But I found some really great eye frames this year, and I wanted to share them with you. So first of all, I love designer frames. I just don't like the designer price. And so what I do is go on Jilt.com, and Jilt.com, if you've never heard of that, this is definitely not sponsored or anything. I'm just sharing my tidbits with you. But they have all of the designer, you know, iframes that you could think of. One thing about Jilt.com, though, it is similar to a TJ Maxx. So it's kind of like you got to get what they got. You just got to kind of keep your eye on their inventory. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. It just really all depends. So I just like to buy Tom Ford glasses because I love the way they look. They look very sophisticated on me, and that's just what it is. But Tom Ford has a price tag. If you buy them, you know, retail out of the store, that is definitely out of my price range. And so essentially what I do is go on Jilt.com and just kind of look to see what type of inventory of Tom frame glasses that they do have. Now, sometimes they'll have some frames that you might see currently in a Neiman Marcus or on the Tom Ford website for like $500-600. They may have them for $129. I know a while back I used to get a lot of my Tom Ford frames on there for like $99. So you just kind of gotta be on the lookout for that. I've gotten some Givenchy frames from there. I know I paid $99 for those. So the frames are very cheap. And then, you know, you just pay to have your prescription filled. So this 2026, I am going to be rocking. I got a new pair of Ray-Ban. I'm really into the thick pair of frames, like that bold, dark look. And so this is a pair that I got. These were extremely cheap. I think these were like $79. So I'm gonna have the prescription filled in these, but I thought they made me look really, I don't know, like artsy. I don't know. I just like the way they made, you know, that whole bold font look. So this is one pair that I'm getting ready to go and have the prescription filled. So that's Ray-Ban, and Ray-Bans are pretty cheap. You don't see a lot of Ray-Bans on Jilt.com, but when you do see them, they are extremely cheap and very reliable, a very reliable brand. Now these two pair I got off of The Real. These are Celine, the brand Celine, and sometimes Celine is a hit or miss for me because they are just like, they don't make a really good like length of 140, but I can do a 145. But their bridge, the bridge of the noses are always like really wide, like 18, 19. And sometimes that kind of gets a little big, but I found a really nice pair, kind of almost similar to the ones that I just showed you. These are burgundy, and I thought these were super cute. I love the way these look on me, but this is going to be one of my new looks in 2026. Get into it. I love that bold color, bold frame. So that's a pair of Celine's that I'm getting ready to go have the prescription filled. And I also got these off of The Real. Now, I have been looking and eyeing these for a very, very long time. Now, the one good thing about these, they are sunglasses, but the sunglass part pops off. So you actually get a pair of eyeglasses, but then you can kind of do a Dwayne Wayne. Well, they don't flip up, but you can actually do, you know, where you put pop the shades on, and it's kind of like, you know, you got more for your money there. But I saw these on The Real, and I had been looking at them, but they were still expensive on The Real. Celine, I think these retail for like maybe $500. On The Real, they had them for like $200. I just kept looking because they had about 5 pairs. So I just kept looking, and I was like, okay, the more they inch down, then I'm gonna just keep my eye on it. Or if I start seeing where those 5 pair turn into 1 pair, then I might just have to like break down and get them. Well, what really made me break down and get them, because one, there were only 2 pair left. It was this color and a black pair that the shade part was gold, but I already have gold sunglasses, so I was really kind of eyeing this pair. But when I went to Seacrest, Florida, in about 2 videos ago, I saw this older lady. She was probably like maybe 65, you know, like in her late 60s. And she was riding a cruiser bike and had on this pair of glasses. Hers were, I think hers were like brown and gold. Let me tell you, she looked like the coolest, most sophisticated lady on that cruiser. And she just rode past me, and I was like, oh my gosh, she has on the Celine glasses. As soon as I got back to the room, I was like, let me go ahead and put my order in, because she just looked so fly. So I went ahead and purchased these, and I really like them because you get a pair of eye frames, but then also all you have to do, and then you just pop those on, and then they're sunglasses. And I also think I saw Usher when he did his Tiny Desk performance. He had on a black pair. So I was like, oh my gosh, these are like the flyest glasses. So this is my 2026 pair of eye frame / sunglasses, and then the other 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the prescription filled on those. But I just wanted to share that little tidbit. If you do wear frames, or if you like to just buy frames and just wear them, Jilt.com and The Real, they always have really nice frames where you can get them for a really good price. Because I know the first time when I first started wearing glasses, I paid like $700 to get some designer glasses from like the store, have them, you know, filled, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm like, you know, insurance doesn't really help the cost, especially when you're like buying them out of the store. So I just figured, you know what? Buy your own frames, use more of your health, your flex dollars to pay for the prescription, and you're done. So that's my little tidbit on that. But also, I also wanted to share, I like at the top of the year doing all of my, you know, health appointments and all of that, but I also get my retainers. So if you were one of the people who was affected by the Smile Direct shutting down, so when I wore braces, I had Smile Direct and they were great. I had no complaints, went through my whole treatment. I have, you know, beautiful teeth. Well, the one thing about it is when they shut down, you couldn't even get retainers. So for about 2 years, I was going absolutely crazy trying to find somewhere I could get retainers. And a lot of times it really wasn't working out. I could tell my teeth were shifting because, you know, they send you the little moles and you have to do them yourself. I'm not a dentist. I don't know how to really do those moles really great. And you send them in and, you know, they have their disclaimer, however you send these moles in, that's what we're going to make. And however your teeth turn out, that's how they turn out. Well, I happened to be on like, I don't know, checking my Google email, but one of those Google AdSense, and it said something about Smile Set, powered by Smile Direct. So if you were one of those people who were basically just displaced by Smile Direct closing, but you finished your treatment and you were just getting retainers from them, if you look up Smile Set is Smile Direct. They have your files. They can pull your file and create your retainer, put you back in retainers based on your retainer set that you had through Smile Direct. Now, they're gonna try to act like, oh, we have to find your file. I don't know what the legality was behind that, but whatever it was, I typed in my information that I had with Smile Direct in Smile Set. They're like, oh, we have to find your file. They found it in like 30 minutes. Really, probably didn't even take that long. And I had retainers by the end of the week based off of my treatment from Smile Direct, and my teeth were able to snap back and get straight how they were when I ended my full treatment with Smile Direct. So that's a tidbit for anyone who wears retainers. You really have to have been in retainers, not going through a treatment, in retainers. If you were with Smile Direct, Smile Set is Smile Direct. They have your retainers, or they have the prints of it, and they can make you some retainers. So I just wanted to share that for anybody who, you know, if you're like me at the top of the year, you're trying to figure out all of your health appointments, trying to get your eyeglasses together, your retainers together, going to the gym, doing, you know, that's my 2 cents to help out. All right, so let's go ahead and get started in our day. Very often. You want to know how much I just paid for this water? $5. $5. I normally travel with my own little LaCroix water, but I guess I just walked out of the house not even thinking about it, and I can't even get this $5 bottle of water open. That's crazy. Oh Lord. Water is water. But yeah, I just have to kind of get out of the house for a second and get in a different environment. I am really trying to give a lot of thought of how I'm going to handle my surgery that's coming up in 2 weeks. And because my goal is, well, really, it is an outpatient surgery, but although it's outpatient, I've had this surgery before, and you really do have to take your time with the recovery process. So I'm really trying to sit here and think about, you know, some of the groceries that I want to purchase, some of the meal prep that I want to do, because they kind of tell you like a week in advance to really kind of wean yourself off of a lot of solid foods, get foods that will digest fairly easily, and you know, really stock up on like applesauce, soups, those different types of things that can, you know, go through your system pretty easily. And I've been through this before, but I just really want to make sure I'm on top of things, because before I stayed in the hospital for 2 days, but this time I'm going to be at home, and my goal is to come back to my apartment just so I can be comfortable and not necessarily having to stay with someone. So I just really want to kind of make sure that I have everything at arm's length. So that's what I'm kind of sitting here doing, thinking about all the things that I need to purchase, anything that I can kind of do ahead of time, and then, you know, kind of have that, all of that stuff taken off my plate. So, but if you've gotten to this point in the video, I really appreciate you watching my videos. So I will see you all next time. Peace.